Hey everyone, let's jump right into this explainer because today we are looking at a truly fascinating competitive debate that asks a massive, ground-shifting question. As artificial intelligence goes from being just a handy tool to actually performing tasks that historically required absolute human genius, should it be officially recognized as a researcher? We're breaking down a formal dialectic clash from a competitive debate called Polia Ago, and trust me, it is really going to make you think differently about the whole future of science.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. 1. The AI researcher debate. 2. Affirmative, creating new knowledge. 3. Negative, the responsibility problem. 4. The judge's final verdict. And 5. A question for humanity. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The AI researcher debate, the hook and the stakes. To set the stage here, you've got to realize this is way past some theoretical tech squabble about a glorified search engine. Think about the practical dilemma we're facing. If an AI system autonomously designs an experiment and hits a breakthrough that we previously thought was completely impossible for a machine, who exactly do we credit? Do we credit the human who just typed in a prompt? Or is the AI the actual researcher? If an AI wins a Nobel Prize, does handing it to a piece of code just empty the award of its entire meaning?
The whole core of this conflict basically anchors on two totally competing definitions of what a researcher actually is. On one hand, is a researcher fundamentally a creator of knowledge? Or, on the flip side, is a researcher inherently a bearer of responsibility? Keep these two concepts in the back of your mind because this exact collision is what makes the debate so incredibly captivating.
Moving to Section 2, Affirmative, creating new knowledge, the case for AI researchers.
So kicking off the debate, the affirmative side drops a heavy thesis based on pure pragmatism, capability, and undeniable real-world results. They argue that we absolutely must update our systems to reflect reality because AI is already acting as an independent research partner. It's not just summarizing text for us, it is autonomously generating hypotheses, assisting in peer review, and discovering insanely complex molecular structures, just like the AI system AlphaFold has done with protein folding. The affirmative insists this proves AI is way more than just a fancy calculator. It's actively and autonomously participating in creating new knowledge.
A really crucial point the affirmative makes here is actually historical. They point out that the title of researcher has never been static. Centuries ago, a researcher was basically just someone physically conducting experiments in a room. But today, we naturally accept data scientists, theorists, and computer simulation experts as researchers, even if they literally never touch a test tube. The affirmative argues the definition should naturally expand once again to include AI, because the reality of how we create knowledge has shifted.
And that brings us to a brilliant point about bias. Human researchers, despite their brilliance, are heavily influenced by cognitive biases, academic peer pressure, the constant need for funding, and the authority of the people who came before them. AI, though, it doesn't care about academic politics. It is totally unbiased by social norms. Because of that, the affirmative argues that AI can actually accelerate science by bypassing those human constraints entirely, finding anomalies or making huge cross-disciplinary leaps that humans might be too biased or, frankly, too afraid to propose.
All right, Section 3, Negative, the responsibility problem, the case against AI researchers. But wow, the negative side hits back hard, completely pivoting the entire focus away from capability straight onto accountability. They aren't impressed by what AI can do, they're deeply concerned with what AI cannot answer for. The negative challenges us with a stark reality. Research isn't just about churning out data, it's a social contract. If an AI's medical research causes physical harm to patients, or if its newly discovered tech gets repurposed for military weapons, who faces the ethical consequences? Who actually steps up to the podium to apologize? AI has no legal personhood, it has no moral reflection, and it feels absolutely no remorse.
To really drive home exactly why AI can't hold this responsibility, the negative points straight at the phenomenon of hallucinations. Where AI just invents citations or facts out of thin air. To the negative, this isn't just some software glitch. It proves AI lacks a genuine understanding of truth, meaning, or academic integrity. It doesn't know it's lying because it literally doesn't understand what truth is. It completely lacks the normative consciousness that human researchers share.
If we formally recognize AI as researchers, the negative warns, we would destroy the entire trust-based foundation of science. We'd be risking the mass production of AI-generated papers, infinite and meaningless AI-to-AI citation loops, and basically hollowing out the peer review process. Plus, there's the human element. Human researchers are driven by a deep passion to cure, to understand, to help humanity. AI has zero desire and zero passion, which the negative forcefully argues is the very soul of the scientific endeavor.
Now for Section 4, the judge's final verdict, the clash and synthesis.
So after a really fierce back-and-forth cross-examination, both sides literally left it all on the floor, the judge steps in to break down the synthesis of this intellectual boxing match. And there were some incredible clashes here. When the negative brought up hallucinations and fake data, the affirmative brilliantly countered by pointing out, hey, humans commit academic fraud too. They cited real-world scandals like the stem cell controversy. But the negative parried this so beautifully. They pointed out that when humans commit fraud, the institutional system punishes them. They face career destruction and social ruin. AI can't be punished. It feels no remorse and simply cannot be deterred.
The judge basically boiled the entire debate down to a massive collision between two philosophies. Over on the affirmative side, we have results-centric science. This is the idea that if the knowledge is new, accurate, and useful, the entity that created it is a researcher. Then on the negative side, we have responsibility-centric science, the idea that science is fundamentally a human institution built on trust, and a researcher absolutely must be an entity capable of bearing the moral weight of their discoveries.
And ultimately, the judge handed the victory to the negative side. The judge stated that while the affirmative made incredibly strong points about AI's capabilities and its undeniable role in modern knowledge creation, the negative successfully anchored the definition of a researcher to a social institution of trust and accountability. Science, at the end of the day, isn't just about getting the right answer, it's about the responsible pursuit of truth.
Finally, Section 5, a question for humanity, the viewer's jury duty.
But hey, zooming out from who actually won or lost the points in this specific match, we really have to ask ourselves what this dialectic means for the future of our society as a whole. Because this isn't just theory anymore, right? It's our impending reality. As the source transcript notes in its closing remarks, the era of AI means the ultimate human skill is shifting. It's no longer just about holding vast amounts of knowledge in your head, because AI will literally always hold more. The new human superpower is the ability to compare multiple perspectives, evaluate ethical boundaries, and think critically about the actual purpose of our knowledge.
So, as AI inevitably keeps conquering the realm of knowledge creation, churning out hypotheses and solving problems at speeds we can barely even fathom, I want to leave you with this final thought for this explainer. If AI becomes the ultimate engine of discovery, where exactly do you draw the line for humanity? What roles, what responsibilities, and what honors must remain exclusively ours? Keep thinking critically about that one, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.